In Pakistan, the Finance Ministry's July outlook revealed a positive trend, with CPI inflation nearing single digits and June's rate at 12.6%. The report highlighted improvements in fiscal stability, including a reduced deficit and a surplus primary balance. Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb emphasized the need for export-led growth to prevent a balance of payment crisis and supported potential interest rate cuts for further stability. Moving on to local news, tribal clashes in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's Kurram district, which began on July 24th, have ceased following a ceasefire agreement. The violence between the Baushera and Malikhel tribes resulted in 49 deaths and over 200 injuries. The Deputy Commissioner confirmed that the fighting has halted, with security forces deployed and no recent gunfire reported. In another significant development, former army official Akbar Hussain has been court-martialed for inciting sedition, receiving a sentence of 14 years of rigorous imprisonment and forfeiture of rank. The military's media wing announced his conviction on May. This follows similar convictions for retired officers Adil Farooq Raja and Haider Raza Mehdi. Meanwhile, PTI founder Imran Khan has sought post-arrest bail from an anti-terrorism court in Lahore over multiple cases related to the May 9 riots. His petition argued that the charges were politically motivated and based on vague allegations. In more legal news, a local court in Islamabad sent PTI spokesperson Rauf Hassan and 9 others to judicial remand for 14 days in a case related to allegations of anti-state digital campaigns. Masoud Pezeshkian has been sworn in as Iran's 9th president in a ceremony at the Iranian parliament. The event was attended by 70 foreign delegates and around 600 journalists. This event marked Pezeshkian's commitment to uphold Islam, the Islamic Republic's principles, and the Constitution of Iran. His oath was administered by Judiciary Chief Ghulam Hussain Mohseni Ijai with approval from Supreme Leader Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei. The new Iranian president, who won the July 5th runoff election against Saeed Jalili, succeeds the late President Ibrahim Raisi, who tragically died in a helicopter crash in May. The new president has 15 days to present his cabinet for the parliament's approval and will officially resign from his lawmaker position by July 31st. Following the inauguration, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi congratulated the Iranian president on his new role. Meanwhile, the US State Department expressed cautious optimism, emphasizing that actions and not words will define Iran's new leadership.
First, we have no expectation that the new president's election that it's going to lead to any fundamental change in Iran's direction, or that it's going to lead to any additional or more respect for the basic human rights of its citizens. We are going to judge, just as we always have, Iran's leadership by their actions, not by their words or even claims of moderation or claims of wanting better ties. The proof is in the pudding, and the proof is going to be reflected in the actions that they take. And as it relates to your question about the nuclear program, look, our approach is unchanged. We have long said that ultimately we view diplomacy as the best way to achieve an effective, sustainable solution with regards to Iran's nuclear program.
The latest figures from Gaza indicate that around 39,400 people have been killed and nearly 91,000 have been injured since Israel began its war on October 7th. The Health Ministry has confirmed a severe humanitarian crisis, with UNRWA reporting that nearly 40,000 hepatitis cases have been linked to deteriorating sanitary conditions, while the World Health Organization has highlighted that the ongoing conflict has severely hampered polio eradication efforts, with a new outbreak likely in Gaza. Meanwhile, the Civil Defense Agency in Gaza reported that an Israeli offensive around Khan Yunis has claimed about 300 lives since it began last week. The Israeli army, on the other hand, has stated that it has eliminated 150 terrorists. In the occupied West Bank, Israeli forces stormed Al Ain refugee camp near Nablus, with reports of heavy gunfire and the presence of snipers as Israeli troops sealed off the area. The conflict has also intensified in northern Israel, where a Hezbollah rocket barrage resulted in one death. Hezbollah has warned that any Israeli ground invasion of Lebanon would be met with strong resistance. Efforts to prevent further escalation are ongoing, particularly following the deadly rocket strike on the Golan Heights. European Union Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell and Lebanese Foreign Minister Abdullah Habibi have emphasized the need to clarify the cause of the violence and avoid regional conflict. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has urged Israel to avoid retaliation that could lead to further escalation. The US, France, and other international actors are also engaged in mediation efforts to reduce tensions. Within Israel, voices of dissent are growing against the government's tolerance of far-right extremist violence. At least one Israeli minister and Knesset members were seen among crowds protesting the arrest of soldiers accused of gang-raping Palestinian detainees. Israeli opposition groups, senior journalists, and writers have condemned these acts, and the support they receive from officials highlight a deepening divide in Israeli society.